Well, hey, my name's Marie Drahrad, and I'll be your creative coach and Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for the day. Why don't you grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. For this class, you're going to need a few supplies, a 12 by 12 inch binder, page protectors, My Digital Studio, and some digital downloads, and a paper trimmer. So let's take a look at what we're going to be making today. This is a 12 by 12 inch scrapbook page, but as you can tell, it's a little different. We are actually going to be making a Project Life scrapbook page, and what makes Project Life so exciting is instead of creating a big 12 by 12 inch page and decorating the whole thing, what you do is you create little small pages and put them inside pockets. And so the page protector here has little pockets. The first row is 4-inch by 4-inch pockets. And then the next row is going to be 4 by 6-inch. And then the last row is also 4 by 6-inch, but what I did was I created a 4 by 3-inch card, and I created 4 of those, and I kind of stuffed them in the 4 by 6-inch pockets. And so as you can see, it came out pretty cute. This is Sierra and Bella. They're crazy, sweet cats. And I also took the cards once they printed, and I actually added a little pearls, as you can see the pearls here, on some of the cards. And then you can actually see a little bow I made using ribbon. And this is our celebration ribbon, so for every $50 you spend, you can actually get some free ribbon. And then I added a pearl right in the middle of the ribbon just to kind of add a finishing touch to this. So basically, this is what we're making today. The really exciting thing about this is if you don't have a 12-inch by 12-inch printer, but you have an 8.5 by 11-inch printer, you can do this project. I'm only using 2 pieces of paper, cardstock actually, Whisper White cardstock. And what I basically did was I basically just simply took my photo viewer and I drag and dropped photos, plopped them on here, and then resized them to be 4 by 6-inch. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to take one of the photos and it's kind of turned over on its side. Sometimes trying to get pictures of these cats, I do have to do wacky things. And I'm actually going to hover right over to the edge corner of the photo. As you can see, it turns into an icon that tells me I can rotate the photo. So I'm going to rotate that photo so that it's facing the way that I want it to face. And I'm going to drag that photo over here to the corner real quick. And as you can see, there's a lot of space around Sierra, and I don't like that. So I'm going to basically crop Sierra's face a little bit so that I can focus more when I can draw the eyes more to the photo of her face as opposed to my bedding. And so as you can see, I can actually drag the cropping tool to the size that I want it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that photo right in the corner there. And I'm going to make sure that it is 6 inches wide. And as you can see, at the top of the canvas, there's a ruler here. And it is exactly 6 inches. And then I'm going to also make sure that it's 4 inches in height. And that'll allow me to fit that picture right in that pocket. And there you go. And so there's Sierra. And I did the same thing with my other cat, Bella. And one of the things that I did do, this is just kind of a nice to do, is you can actually click on these photos. And if you right mouse click, you can actually make sure that these are aligned. And so I just basically align them to the left. And that way I know for sure that when I'm cutting the cardstock, I'm going to be able to have one clean cut. So that's basically what I did with the photos. And then as you can see, I made 4-inch by 4-inch cards here. They're pretty cute. And I basically, this is really easy to do. All you do is you use punch. So I'm going to pick the 1.25 square inch punch. And then I'm going to put that over in the corner. And I'm going to use my rulers again to make sure that this is exactly 4 inches by 4 inches. There you go. And so now it's 4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to move that around a little bit so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm going to color fill this. The neat thing about My Digital Studio is you can fill it with all our colors. And so everything that you do in My Digital Studio matches all our cardstock. I picked Basic Gray. And there you go. Let's move this over here so you can kind of get a feel for it. So that's my background. And I'm going to use a stamp. And the neat thing about these stamps is they don't stay the same size. You can actually make them bigger or smaller. I'm going to go over to my Artistic Etchings stamp set. And you can download this from my store at at the My Digital Studio section of the catalog. And I'm going to select the crown. And I'm going to close this. And the crown is going to get moved over right to the center of that 4 by 4 inch card. And if I wanted to, I can actually make this bigger. And that's the nice thing about using My Digital Studio. You don't have to stay with just the same size images. I'm going to make that back to what it was. And there is an undo button on My Digital Studio, so don't be afraid to make a mistake or try something new, because you can always hit the undo. The undo is right here. See that? So there's my crown, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to put on some text. So I'm just going to basically type up some text here. And, it's up to you, whatever you want to put on your card. Something personal that means something to you and your family. You can put a Bible verse. You can put a verse from the Torah. This is a really cute way to document a christening or a bar mitzvah. You can use this all kinds of different ways. I'm going to center this text now, and I'm going to make it a little bigger, just so you can kind of get an idea. And then I'm going to get a little creative, and let's see if we can find a font that's kind of neat. Let's try this one. That's kind of boring. Let's try something else here. There we go. And I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger so that the crown doesn't overpower my text. Let's do a little bit more. There you go. And there you go. There is your 4 by 4 inch card. And so you can kind of see how I was able to do that. And I did the same thing with the key. The key is from Artistic Etchings digital download set. And I basically simply used the same font and put in some text. The next thing that I did, let me delete this out, just because we don't need it on the project. So I went to the second page, and this is where I put the rest of the cards. You want to print borderless, and one of the things that I do is I do something a little different. I like to use Adobe Acrobat to do my printing, and one of the nice things about My Digital Studio is that under the Project menu, you can select Share, and you can select Export Pages. And the neat thing about my printer is it's a PhotoSmart B8550. It prints 12 by 12, and it also prints borderless, and I want to make sure that the sizes that I just got done doing for all these cards are not going to change on me. And so basically I'm just going to export to PDF, and I don't do anything. I just take whatever the default is and I click on Finish. I make sure that I know where my output location is. And you can change that location if you want to, and there's a lot of thinking that's going on right now. Basically what My Digital Studio is doing is it's taking the My Digital Studio RAW format and it's translating it into an Adobe format. It does all the hard work for you, and so it takes a minute or a second or two here. You just have to be a little patient. The more pages you have, the longer it's going to take. I've got 3 pages right now that it's trying to render. And so if you have success, you're going to get a success message and click OK. And then if you want to view this in Adobe Acrobat, you can just hop over to your Adobe Acrobat. And that's what it looks like. And this is my first page. And then my second page is right here. And as you notice, then none of the sizes changed. It's exact. And that's the nice thing about it, exporting it to Adobe. And so basically it's real simple, just like my Digital Studio. You do a print. I don't do anything special. I select my printer, so it's an HP PhotoSmart B8500. And I basically take the defaults and say print. And then that's basically about it. Once you print this out, again, it's 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Once you print it out, you're going to want to use your Stampin' Trimmer to actually cut out these pages. You're going to cut out a 4 by 6 inch shape for the photos, each of them, and then you're going to select your 4 by 4 inch settings and basically just using your stamping trimmer, just trim this. And as you can see on both pages, I did not have very much white space left. So don't forget to save this on your scraps, the little white space here, because you can use that for other stamping projects. And so then the other thing that I did, and I'm going to flip back over to my Digital Studio really quick, is if I go back to the finished product, the other thing that I did that made it look really cute was I used a quarter punch, and basically it just created rounded corners. So once I cut out the cards for each pocket, I basically just use a corner rounder punch, and I basically embellished using pearls and ribbon and stuffed them in the pockets, and there you go. Now it's your turn. You try.